Hello guys, and welcome to the first video on my new channel. This channel is going to be for reviewing model RC cars, trucks, semi-trucks, just about anything. And I'd like to try to answer any questions if you have them, so post some to my page, or hit me up on email and we'll see what we can do. Well, the first thing is we're going to do a truck review, but it's not this guy that's in front of you. This guy is actually going to be the test mule for another truck. I'm going to do a comparison with him. This, just to give you a little background, is my Scania R6, I think it's a R630. I don't know, it's been a while since I built it. It's about 4 years old. It's got a knuckle boom crane on it, which is a work in progress. It sat in storage for a couple of years, and all the hydraulics have been long since sold and gone, or transferred to the wheel loader over here. So he's in the process of being rebuilt. But why do I have him here? Well, he is going to be a comparison test vehicle for a new truck. Now, everybody have seen these online, and they've seen them on companies like Asia Tees or even in a couple of forums. Well, I actually pulled the trigger and bought one. And give me a second and I'll show you what I got. Here you go. This is my new Hercules Hobbies Mercedes Benz Actros 355 1 6x4 Gigaspace. This one is actually this guy right here. It's a different company from your standard Tamiya, as you can tell. First thing on the box, you can tell they have all the trucks in their model range around the outside. And I don't know if you've noticed, but the door's open on this guy. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's a big box. It's actually a little bigger than my Tamiya boxes I've had. And see, here's some more of their vehicles. With more of the doors opening. This is actually a relatively new one. This one came out maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. And I haven't seen many reviews online about it, or I haven't even got a lot of information about it, because this is the quandary that I have with all the Hercules hobby trucks. People put videos on YouTube about them, and they show you how they build them, and they compare how good the quality is to a Tamiya truck, but nobody actually does a running review. Nobody actually sits down and answers questions like, oh, how does this look compared to a Tamiya truck? Is it the same scale? It says it's 114, but I've had 114 scale models before that are smaller than a Tamiya truck. So, nobody ever tells you things like this. Sorry about the lawnmower in the background, but I'm doing this during the middle of the day. Well, back to the truck. Well, we also, in your standard Tamiya style, you got the truck on the front. This is actually a photograph instead of box art like Tamiya has. It shows the 3-speed transmission in it. It has all the information in it, like they always do. That's about all I can tell on the outside of the box. Besides the Hercules hobbies. So let's open it up and see what the differences are. Well, first thing right off the bat is that it's not packed as well as a Tamiya truck is, but that doesn't bother me too much. And it's got your standard instruction manual, same fashion as just about everybody I've seen, with the screws down the side, the component, step by step. It's even got the little anime style little vehicles and icons and stuff. I've always got a kick out of that when I was a kid. Other than that, I don't know how well the assembly is until I start building it. But just taking a quick look, it looks about the same as a Tamiya truck. Now, there is something different. The differentials have this little weird notch in it. I don't know what that's about, but we'll check that out. Well, you don't want to see the instruction manual. And of course, you got the chrome parts. Looks like fifth wheel and some of the axle parts. There's a tank. course, the radio tray. Looks like every other Tamiya radio tray. Fenders. These are the lower control arms on the rear end. This is grill parts. Door handles. More fender parts. This looks like the air box. Yeah, this looks like the air cleaner and air box. One of the cool little touches that kind of sold me on the model was all the industrial looking parts on the truck, like the headlight grills, you know, all the little tow bars and stuff like that on the truck. I love the industrial kind of work truck look. Sticker sheet, and actually has these look like photo etched aluminum pieces. I'm trying to do this with one hand, I'm sorry. Let me get this out of the bag for you. Okay, yeah, see, it's aluminum, and it looks like it's been stamped or photo etched, or even routed. It's kind of fine work for a router, but I used to run a router at work, and I could do something like that, so it could be routed. Again, sticker sheet. This is, I'm not sure if this is actually officially licensed by Mercedes. Actually, it is. Check that out. So I guess Hercules Hobbies has actually got a licensing now. Check that out. Well, that's the sticker sheet. Battery tray. Something I have no idea. The interior. And like I said, this one has opening doors, so I guess they got to give you a full interior. Speaking of the opening doors, here are the doors. Yep, here's the interior of the door. That's pretty cool. I guess these are the hinges for the door. Seats and dashboard. Fenders. The roof and the front bumper. And again, I got this truck because I like the more industrial looking trucks. The sleeper cab with all the fancy custom grill work and lights and designs. Those are cool. Those are really cool to me, but I like to play with my trucks in the dirt and mud and act like I'm actually doing construction work. And when you're driving one of these guys or even that guy, for example, you don't want to be having this pretty dump truck or this beautiful semi truck pulling all the dirt around. And so I like the industrial work truck look. So I'm kind of glad that this doesn't have the really high top on it, like most of the like for example the Scania right there. There's more tanks. More body work. There's the grill. And I'm actually kind of glad the grill is black instead of just white. Makes it easier to paint and makes it easier to detail. Now the gearbox housings looks like something from Tamiya. Like I was saying with the gearbox, I had to stop for a second. The gearbox housing looked like something from Tamiya. I actually have a Tamiya gearbox here, and the housing looks almost identical. I mean, granted, this guy right here is really old. This is older than that truck. But yeah, there's a gearbox. And of course, the cab. Space for the doors. And more fender parts. And of course the frame rails. Now these look These actually look pretty long for a semi truck. I mean, granted, this truck is longer than your standard 6x4, but that's actually pretty. That's pretty long for a semi truck. Might be a good candidate for another dump truck, but we'll see. And also, getting back to the frame rails real quick, they actually have a different texture on them than what Tamiya has. They're actually a matte finish, and they look like they have some kind of texture coating on it. I don't know if you can see that. You know, Tamiyas are pretty smooth. These look like they got some kind of textures, and they're actually pretty heavy for frame rails. The Tamiya ones, I know at one time they were steel, and now I think they're aluminum, but these might be still steel. Let's see. We got a box. This is all the metal parts. And here's something that I really like. You see those? Those are ball bearings. This truck has a complete ball bearing kit in it from the factory. And of course, is your tool bag. I don't quite know what that is yet. Body mounts or lighting and body work. Now, that's the one thing I noticed. There's going to be a lot of body work on this truck. See, here you go again with full bearings. More metal work. This looks like the front axle. And again, ball bearings. And the reason why I'm surprised about that, if anybody's built a Tamiya semi or anything like that, these guys don't come with ball bearings. They come with brass bushings. And I mean, they stand up pretty good because, you know, you're not doing rocket speed with these trucks. I mean, they do maybe 15 miles per hour in third gear. I mean, which is pretty quick for one of these trucks. You know, you don't want to make any fast turns with it, but they're not land rockets. So the metal bushings work pretty good. And they last really long time, but ball bearings work a lot better. And again, here's a tube full of ball bearings. And this looks like differential parts. And one of the reasons why I bought this truck is that they have a remote locking kit, Hercules Hobby. And it's not really expensive. It's only $12. Even though you have to supply the servo and the mounting mechanism, but you know, I'm a handy guy. I can figure that out with no problem. Let's see. And we got a bigger box. This one I can tell already. It's got tires in it. Okay. Got axle housing. And here's something else interesting. The axles have the pinion in the center instead of offset. So I wonder if this is compatible with Tamiya parts, or if it's something completely different. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a Tamiya axle, but they're offset. The pinion and differential are off to one side, not down the center. Even on the fronts, you know, the steering axles is the same way. Now, the one benefit that all Tamiya trucks do have, even if it's a rock crawler, a semi truck, or even the little Mitsubishi over there, they all have the same internal differential and pinion. So it's great because certain model Tamiya trucks have a hole drilled in the differential so you can lock the differential without having to stick any kind of weird goop or gel or glue or something like that. You can just put a pin in it, and when you don't want the differential lock, you can take the pin out. That's really cool. And it makes parts easy to find because all of them are interchangeable. So if you know If you know that you need a differential, you can find the parts from that truck, this truck, that guy down there, or whatever. They're all interchangeable. So that's something to be seen with this, and see if that's true of this. Because if that is true to this, there are really nice differential kits out there for the Tamiya trucks, and that would make this that would help these guys out greatly. I have heard that 95% of the parts that go on the Tamiyas will go on these guys. So I guess we'll figure out what the differences are. Let's see what else we got in the bag. Just like all the Tamiya trucks, you got two fifth wheels, two different styles. You only ever really use one, so I don't know why they give you two, but whatever. Like steering components and cross members. Now this is neat. This actually looks like it's got bearings in it. This looks maybe like a 35 turn motor. I don't know. It doesn't have any labeling or anything like that on it, but it does have replaceable brushes in it. Coming from back in the day, I used to be a RC racer, and this looks like a modified motor. Matter of fact, it has the little notches on it so you can adjust the timing. I don't know why you would want to adjust the timing on a semi truck, but okay, that's kind of cool. And again, like I said, it has bearings in it, so that's really neat. So this is shaping up to be at least a quiet truck. And of course, you got the front rims, but these look wider than your standard Tamiya rims. And here's some matter of fact, I can show. I have a Tamiya tires. One sec. Here's a Tamiya tire next to that. Oh yeah, they're a lot wider. They almost look like super singles. Huh. That's really cool. So we know it has better front tires, and it actually has really hard inserts in it. So I wonder if these are really soft. And they are. And they're really soft and gummy. So they're almost like almost a crawler tire. Not quite RC four-wheel drive soft, but pretty soft, softer than the Tamiya ones. And of course you have all the tires. Cool little piece they wanted to put in its own little individual box. I mean bag, sorry. And beacons, which I also thought was really cool. That's another thing that convinced me to get it. I love the little beacons on top of trucks. But that looks like that's what's in the bag. In the box, sorry. Well, all that is the truck. In my next video, I'll have it put together and I'll talk about what problems I had, what the differences are that I can tell offhand. I'm planning to run just your standard servos and stuff in here. I'm not going to do anything super special. It doesn't really need it. These trucks never really run fast or hot or anything like that. So let's see what happens, and hopefully it'll be a good truck. If not, it's going up on eBay. But we'll see. Next time.